Hey guys, welcome to episode 31 of Adventures in Welding. In this episode is part 2 of building my fire pit for the Weld.com contest. But before we get to that, I want to show you this book, Metals and How to Weld Them. Jody Collier from WeldingTipsandTricks.com, the Weldmonger, recommends this book highly. I bought it and I love it. And I just want to read you guys a short passage from chapter 21 entitled Good Welds and How to Make Them. Just a real quick thing. Welding is the only commercial method which can be used for joining metals that is capable of giving full strength to the joint. Welds having yield strength and ultimate tensile strength equal to or greater than the parent metal are the usual rather than the exception. Filler metals in welding rods and electrodes are carefully engineered, their chemical composition is rigidly controlled, and their melting and deposition by electric arc ensures higher quality than is normally available in the parent metal. The James F. Lincoln Foundation, jflf.org. You can get this book for $10. Let's get on with the project. Alright, our first order of business today is cutting some angle iron for these risers. They're going to be 6 inches long, so I've blocked the square at 6 inches, drawn a line. Now these are going to go on each corner of the fire pit, and they're going to come out at an angle, maybe about 15-20 degrees. Couldn't find my WD-40. I know I had it somewhere. So I put a little motor oil on there to lubricate. It's not cutting oil or anything like that, but I just wanted something to lubricate the bandsaw blade. That's right, we're busting it out. The Chicago Electric portable bandsaw. Still don't have the right blade for it. That'll be here tomorrow. I'm getting a lot of vibration. I didn't have it yesterday. I think it's just because this is a really long piece of stock in a really small place. But I'll tell you what, the thing cuts. One of my next projects, I'm going to make a vertical stand for it so I can just push stock through it. One more. I already cut 2 before you guys got here. I couldn't wait for you. I like this method of marking with the lock square because you know it's going to be the same every time. So I have to have that far enough out that I can get the body of the bandsaw in there. Crank down pretty tight. What? Put oil in there. Yeah, there we go. We don't need much. I just want a little bit on there. Now this one's a little vibrating. Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out what you see the tape start to. Oh, we can't have that. Perhaps if I use some of my mid-area insulation to place a piece against it, there won't be as much vibration. How about that? Alright. There's all our pieces cut. Next. Since this thing is all going to be TIG welded, you know, the number one rule is TIG clean. So where I'm going to weld those little riser pieces on, got to get everything. It really does feel the square. And that, you notice I have the guard on the grinder. Well, I'm not wearing any gloves. I should be wearing gloves. Alright, now what we got to do is figure out how we're going to put these pieces. See, they're going to come up like this, and then I'm going to put some fancy schmancy stainless steel like cutout stuff in the middle there. Then I'm going to cap it off with more angle, and then it's going to go up square for another foot and then come back in. Think of like a lantern type shape. And this is, again, this is the fire pit that I'm building for the weld.com contest. It has to be done. I'm using a combo square there with an angle attachment on it to figure out how to get my angle I want. So now we'll grab a couple of magnets and mount the square where I want it on the table. I'm going to raise that up a little bit. I know it changes my angle a slight bit, but you know what? The angle is completely arbitrary. So it's not making that much of a difference here. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now it's got to get the corner of the bottom of the pit in the right place so everything lines up. A little bit of adjusting. You know, the first one is always the most difficult when you're figuring out how you're going to do everything. And also with TIG, besides cleanliness, it's a good tight fit up. If you get a good tight fit up, we'll see I'm marking the corner now, so that when I rotate the next corner in, I can line it up right there and everything will be copacetic. What I was saying with TIG is if you have a nice tight fit up, you can usually get a nice fusion tack in there and you won't have any problems whatsoever. Yeah. Did somebody say fusion tack? Look at that flex head CK torch. That's a 17. 3/32 inch thoriated tungsten electrode. Number 7 cup. I put cheaters in my helmet, so they don't work well with my glasses. Let's spark an arc, baby. A little contamination there, huh? Nice job. Now I'm tacking the other side. I couldn't quite get a good fusion, so I'm using a ER70S2. Now I'm going to weld it out. Let's count how many times this idiot sticks. Once. Twice. Oh, he didn't go for 3. But you notice he left the torch there while the gas was running out. Alright, what we got going on here is now I want to level the tops of these pieces. So I again have my square at 6 inches, and I'm going to put 2 dots on each side. Then I can draw a line between the dots and cut off at the line, and my top will be square. Square to itself, square to the table. It's a square deal. Square's a good thing. Everybody likes square. The one thing about square is if you eyeball stuff, no matter how good your eyeballs are, it's not going to be square. Alright, there's the fancy schmancy expanded steel that's going to go down the bottom there. Just like that. Of course I'm going to cut it. I mean, let's not be silly. and then a piece of angle will go across all four corners, and then we will build the upper section next.